I went down to the office the next day, literally shaking.
Driving away while I watch them ride with my dreams away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long black road. All the tears I fight, 16 carriages driving away while I watch them.
We are driving to my apartment for the last time. It's a crazy feeling. I don't know how I feel because this morning has already been like not good, so I am not in the best mood.
Away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long black road. All the tears I fight, 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my dreams away to the summer sunset on a holy night on a long black road. All the tears I fight, 15.
I've been cleaning for about an hour now. I moved all my things out yesterday, so we are in an empty apartment. And when I walked in here, it was funny because I instantly like had flashbacks of when I toured this apartment. And you know, I was really excited about moving here, and I feel like I have just kind of realized part of my reasoning for moving here. But before we get to that, I never thought I would live somewhere like this. Really, I never thought I would live in Oakland. I'm not from Oakland. My family's from Oakland. I've spent a lot of time, like as a kid in Oakland, obviously, because most of my family's from here. My parents are from here or whatever. But I never thought I would live in Oakland. Definitely not downtown Oakland in like a semi high-rise building. My building only goes to 8 floors and I was living on the 7th floor. So, you know, having like that view, even though we trying to be positive just right now, we trying to be positive. Having a view, having almost floor to ceiling lit windows, like, girl, my first apartment was a low income apartment. Just to see the growth, I guess, is crazy. But let's get to the reasoning of why I moved here in the first place. I've been doing YouTube for maybe like 2 years now, off and on, you know. And the funny thing is during that time, I have moved a couple times, but I just haven't documented it, girl. I haven't documented it. And the reason being is because I wasn't necessarily like proud of what I was going through. Like, I was embarrassed of my journey, basically. Baby, I'm sweating down. Honey, I've been putting in work. And y'all see this new hairdo. I hate it. Anyways, I wasn't proud of my journey, so I wasn't documenting anything because I didn't want to look back on it. I didn't want people to speak on it. I didn't want people to have opinions on it. I didn't want none of that. So I feel like I definitely kind of got out that space. One of the reasons I moved here specifically was for a man. It was to be closer to a man that I wasn't even in a relationship with. Like, we didn't have, like, we weren't a, that wasn't my nigga for real, okay? Basically is what I'm trying to say, is that was not my nigga for real. We was playing house like he was, but he was not. And I moved to be like closer to him. And we were very close, actually. You know, I am single right now, so clearly that did not work out. I do feel like everything happens for a reason, and you know, this is part of my journey, and I feel like I have learned a lot of things living here. I have experienced a lot of things. I feel like I've gotten to know myself a little bit more, so I'm definitely grateful for this experience. And you know, with learning, you expect to go on and be able to handle other situations better. And I'm hoping that is what this teaches me, at least. Because it was funny because I think my last night in here, I just was kind of reflecting. And I was thinking of all the times I had here, like good and bad. And the bad ones was coming. I could think of the bad ones. And I'm like, well, what about the good times that I had here? And I couldn't think of many. And you know, sometimes I do tend to be a negative person, but I don't feel like that much great happened here. The reason why I am moving is not because I found another place that I love. Baby, to be quite honest, I don't even really know where I'm moving still. I'm not living here, but I don't know where I'm moving. I still have not signed another lease, so I still kind of have that flexibility. But the reason why I am leaving the Lydian, let's name her the Lydian, is because about 2 months ago, I was doing my nightly things, and I went to use the restroom, and I didn't even turn the light on. Because there's a light in my hallway outside the bathroom, so you don't necessarily need the light, and I don't like, you know, turning on bright lights at night. So I went in there with the light off. I used the bathroom, and I got up, and I saw something right across the counter. And because the lights were off, I thought I was tripping. But I ran and turned the lights on, and on my counter, my bathroom counter, there was a roach. Now, mind you, I signed like an 18-month lease. It just was up. So I've been living here for a while. And I've never seen a bug in my apartment, not even a spider, honey. I don't see that in my apartment. So seeing a roach was insane. And I got a little PTSD from roaches, okay? So I was flabbergasted. And then just taking into accountability, this is supposed to be a luxury building. And then the amount of rent I pay, honey, there should not be any roaches. So because I was so surprised and scared, I didn't take pictures of the roach. I killed it. Luckily, I was able to catch it and kill it, and I threw it away. I went down to the office the next day, literally shaking. I was shaking that I was so like, I couldn't even sleep that night. Because I was just like, oh my God, I have roaches. Like, how am I supposed to sleep in here? So I went down to the office shaking. They acted like they were really empathetic. They were like, oh my God, we're gonna put your name on the list. And, you know, something's gonna happen. I'm telling them that I want someone to come out, a professional, to come out and spray. Okay? So after that, I didn't hear nothing. I had to keep following up with these people. I had to keep sending emails. I was getting no type of follow-up. And then eventually they said a maintenance man was gonna come up and check it out. And I was just like, well, what is the maintenance man supposed to do? Like, the roach is not here. What is he supposed to see? So he came and he looked at it, and we did recently get a new maintenance man, and I don't like, girl. He came up and he looked in my bathroom, and I showed him where it was. He looked around, and he like laughed at me. Like, when he asked me, like, did I still have it? I'm like, no, I killed it. Like, what the hell? He like laughed. Like, he thought the situation was like funny, which was crazy to me. I'm a tenant here that pays rent, and if I feel uncomfortable, I don't think you should be finding that funny. At least not in my face. Laugh when I'm not here, okay? So he came up, looked around, and I'm thinking after that they were gonna call pest control. No, they tried to have maintenance come back up and put roach traps in my house. Now, I was really against these roach traps because I live in a studio. There's nowhere to hide a roach trap. So I have to look at these roach traps. My guests have to look at these roach traps. And to be quite honest, if I went to someone's house and they had a roach trap, I don't know if I would want to be over there. Like, roaches are very spreadable. You can go to somebody's house, bring your purse, and you can take them home with you. So I wouldn't even be mad if someone didn't want to come over here if they knew I had seen roaches in my apartment. Like, what the hell? I feel like that's something you should tell someone prior to them coming over, because that's a big thing. So I'm constantly emailing these folk. Eventually, the property manager emails me back, because previous to this, I was just speaking to like leasing consultants. The property manager emails me back only because I called out my lease and asked if my lease included pest control, like if I'm paying for it, because you know it's a whole bunch of fees I'm paying on top of rent. So she emailed me back talking about she wanted to assure me that they are following my lease. And then she had the nerve to say that I actually was going against my lease because I would not allow them to put roach traps in my home. And that should have been my last straw. That should have been my last motherfucking straw, okay? They never came to put roach traps in my home, probably because I emailed them back and said a little something. So imagine my surprise when a month later, at least 3 weeks later, I come home from getting lunch and there's a note on my door. And baby, I pay my rent on time, so I'm not used to having notes on my door. I look at this note and it is a cockroach preparation list. Baby, by this point, I have done my own pest control situation. I am satisfied with the situation. I feel like it's been handled because I handled it. So I said, what the fuck is this? And they're saying that the pest people are coming to my house the next day and I need to move all these things. Nothing can be in the house, no pests or anything. Mind you, no one has given me any communication. I thought they just was gonna forget about the situation. So I instantly go downstairs. And I didn't act how I usually would. I was upset, I was yelling, because why would you just randomly put this on my door without no type of communication and think that someone was about to come in my home and do something when I have not heard from y'all in like a month. Like, I just did not feel like the situation was handled properly, and like I just felt like disrespected, and I'm not about to keep paying rent somewhere where I feel like it's not like conclusive to, or it doesn't add up to the amount of rent I'm paying. Okay, that next day I emailed my 30-day notice. After I went downstairs, slammed that note on their desk and told them how I felt about the situation, I put in my 30-day notice the next day, because I was like, this is my time to go. When it's your time to move on from something, you'll get some signs. And you know, the signs will start off a little small at first, and if you keep ignoring them, they're gonna get bigger and bigger. And I feel like that's what was happening with me in that roach thing. That was my last straw. And the way they handled it, like if they would have came in here and had pest control to, you know, up in here, or at least told me like we have to wait to get approval, like they didn't tell me shit. And I don't like that. So that's why I'm moving. But I honestly feel like I should have been moving already. Like, I should have been moving anyways. That really should not have been what pushed me, but that's what I needed. So I appreciate it. So funny, because yesterday when I moved out, baby, there were so many issues. And I feel like that was just confirmation I'm doing the right thing. Baby, the load and dock elevator, the elevator that is like set aside for people who are moving in and moving out, was broken during my time to move out.
Every night fucks every day up. Every day patches the night up. Oh God, you should match it, it's that KO. No one lighters till I fuck my 28th up. 1998, my family had the Acra. Oh, the legend. Kept at least 6 discs and a changer. Back when Boswell and Percy had it active. Couple bishops in the city building mansions. Oh, the Reverend preaching self-made millionaire status. When we could only eat at Shoney's on occasion. After Trina hit, I had to transfer campus. Your apartment, I didn't use is where I waited. Staying with you when I didn't have a address. Fucking on you when I didn't own a mattress. Working on a way to make it out of Texas. Every night, and baby, I've been hungry for my night. God, no, I can't let's spend the night. My God, wanna see the runner, wanna die, wanna feel another vibe, but we'll be at the bar. Know the boys wanna see me both times, both dies, first dies, every day. Shut the fuck up, I don't want your conversation. Rolling marijuana, that's some vacation. Every night, every night, every night.
Reign over the universe. Om Shanti, Shanti. Reign